Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. Today we will continue to work on our Battle Royale series. So here's what I got. I will open my game folder and launch here my game. So 2 times so I can show you also that multicasting works for this. So there it goes. So I press start on this one and I get this one and click on find game. Just wait a second to search for the game and it will also join. So what it will do now after the time goes down, it opens the new level. So here we are, spawning in the air. Now I press F to open the parachute and I press F here. So now you can see my parachute is opened and you can see the other parachute from the other controller. And yeah, actually this is running as a dedicated server and yeah, it's also working with the spawning. So and I also added some gravity scale and air control. So yeah, that's everything. And if we land, we will see what happened. We will basically drop off the parachute and now we can run again. So here we are. I'm running 4.16 and I will later on update to 4.17, but this will take a lot of time, so I will do this later. So open up your Battle Royale tutorial map or project. And inside here, the first thing we want to do is to create a new level. So this will be our demo play level. Delete here the floor, then go to landscape. And let's create a new one with the default settings here. And one thing I forgot, click here on the landscape and on details. So we can edit here the height and make it 0. So click on save and we will name this demo game map. And after this is saved, also add a skylight. So this will be a bit better looking here. Can pull this up a bit like this. And then all we have to do is press F2 while clicking on this. So we get the name, copy this. And inside our lobby game mode is the execute console command here where we travel to the next level. We will paste in the demo game map like this. So as I also explained in the last videos, this won't work here in editor, so we can only test this outside of the editor, the server travel. So what we do is we will just work here with the demo game map to test everything. Make sure you have here a dedicated server activated and 1 player at first. And let's go to the world settings and create a new game mode called play game mode with something. I don't have a good name for this. Put it into the blueprints. Before we actually go on, we need to take the default pawn as the third-person character. And then we can save everything up. And we can restart or reopen our project. So I will do this now. So back in our game, we can open the demo game map again, hit on play, and check if we spawn with the third-person character, and we do. So all the coding stuff will be held inside the third-person character. So go to the third-person blueprint folder and click on the character here, and let's begin coding our spawning values here. So the first thing we want to do is to actually set the new actor location when we begin play. So actually we spawn then somewhere in the air, and to do this I pick the way to make the vector. So the z-axis will be something like 30,000, and for x and y, which determines the position here, I choose to get a random integer. Oops, sorry, my fault. Random integer in range, of course. So we can also say from 0, which will be a value we can easily test here within a cube or sphere or whatever cylinder, and put in here 0. So it will go from here to, for example, 5 thousandths, which is there. And to give it more variation, we can also put in -5,000, for example. But I will, we'll just leave it at this. But when you, code your game, you will use much higher values. So I go for this one now, and I copy this over, and also for the y-axis. So don't forget to delete the cylinder here, and then compile and save this one. So now we can actually test this if we spawn in the air. So you see, we are here somewhere in the right top corner. And we can begin now with all the other stuff. So for a later purpose, we need 2 booleans, which will be, one will be start spawn. So this one will only be true when begin play starts. So here we will set this to true, and it will be later just get to false forever. So we put this here to true, and also is falling question mark, which will also be false, but from the beginning it will be true and then false again. So we will make this false true here, and then we will continue to work on the next few steps. So I choose to have the F key for the parachute. You can choose whatever you like. I will just pull in the F. And so here's the first boolean, which is the start spawn. So if this is true, which is true as spawning, we can use one time the F key to open one time the parachute. So after this one will be set to false, and we cannot enter this again. And after this, we want to have a custom event, which will be fired. So here we need a custom event because server handling is everything about custom events. So because we can on this custom events set the replication, and this is very, very important for us. So on this custom event, I will replicate this to the server. We could also use the multicast, but in this case I tested run on server works great. So we will use this. Just call this, for example, set the parachute or something like this. And from here we will call this parachute function. And all this set parachute function does is it will change the character movement inside the air, because we have an simple other character movement when we have a parachute. So for this I will use the air control and of course the where is it, gravity scale. There is it, the gravity scale. So I got here some problems, and the way I fixed this was with a small workaround, and I will tell you how I did this. But before, you need to know if you can't change actually the air control while you're in air at the gravity scale. And to get this workaround here, I for a second set the movement mode inside the air to flying, so we can in this second change air control and gravity scale. So this was the only workaround I found for this bug. If you have some better ideas, please just write them in the comments. So I change here to flying mode, and in the second we are in flying mode, we can set the air control something like 0.2. So if you press 1 here, you will have the same control as on the ground. And after this, I actually set the movement mode back again. to the walking one. And while we're walking in air, we are automatically going into falling again. So the next step would be changing the gravity scale just to 0.1 or something, but this step's not really work for me because we want the parachute to have a consistent velocity of 600 or 400 or whatever. If we change the gravity scale to 0.1 or something, it will just go slowly above 600, and after time it will reach 2000. And this is not what we want. We want the velocity of our character, which means the speed, how fast he goes down, to be at a consistent level. So for this, we add another custom event, which will be set max velocity, something like this. And we set it here. And actually, what this does is a very simple delay function. And before we do the delay function, we want to have our gravity scale updated. So we get a timeline here. So we have not a cut down in speed. So we will have a smooth cut down in speed. For this, we just make this cut down timeline here, which will consist of float and also a length of 1. I'll click again here, select this, and then we add the curve here. So at 0 it will have the value of 1, the gravity scale, and at time 1 we have the value of 0. So here is the simple smooth cut down in speed. And we actually will put this to our character movement and to the gravity scale. So very simple, update and get the track here, and maybe pull this under this one. And now we go to the delay function I talked about. So here, go from the finish to a delay, and let's check every 0.1 second if one condition is true. So get here branch, and the condition will be the velocity should be, of course, braked, and the z should be less than minus 600. So minus because we're falling down, so we won't reach this speed, or we will reach this speed, but we will not go less than minus 600. So to actually go then here, we will set to gravity scales, of course, and if it's true, we want to have the gravity scale to 0, so no velocity changes anymore. And if this one is false, we have 1, so it can fall like it fell before. So very simple. Then let's just get back to the delay from this one here. Something like this, and we can connect here the reroute nodes. So yeah, this is not simple, but we will get used to it. Like this, something like this. And yeah, that's fine, I think. So what this does now, we actually can test this. So we're falling, you can see how fast we're falling. Now I press F, and we are falling slowly. So to actually test everything is like we want, we can also add, of course, an event tick, and we can get here the velocity, and of course we can just print it out here. So now you will understand what I'm already talked about. So we play here, and you can see the velocity is going high over, and if I press F now, it will just go to minus 600. So before we actually add a parachute model, we can also make something what should happen when we land. So event on landed is a function we will use for this, which is very cool. So every time we land, we will check something. So here we check the is falling is true. So if is falling is true, so this is only true at first. So yeah, actually we will use this here just one time. So what we do then here is just set the control back to the value we had before. You can watch this here. Oh, sorry, my bad. This was before not 0.2, it was 0.05. So copy this over here and paste it in. And also we can set the gravity scale back to the value it was. So like 1. So, and then we will set the is falling to false. So we will never ever get this to true again. So very simple. So let's now continue with the parachute, and you can also delete the event tick. So let's bring in here a new tab from Google and type in parachute 3D model and search the link from CG Trader, this one. And here I found, oh no, this is not the correct one. Let's see, was it this one? No, let me just find the link and then I will show you. So the correct one is here, the free 3D website with the parachute 41154. So click on it. Yeah, you need to create an account here. Click on download. And yeah, this one is free, so you will redirect to Mediafire and then you can download this. So I already downloaded this to my downloads folder, and so I will not do this again, but let's create a new folder for items just for now. We can later on rename this, and here a folder for parachute. And I already tested this parachute, and as it comes as an object, we could probably also import it into Blender and then resize it and blah, but I will just open this up here inside Unreal and put the scale to 100. So click on import all to get the texture also, and yeah, here you can see it's the correct size, so very simple. So for now we have just a few steps to go through. So go to the third person, go to the viewport, and let's add an arrow here, which will be our parachute arrow, and let's bring it to the neck or somewhere like this. And while I'm here, I would just also tell you that we will in the next videos use example character, military character, something like this, and then we will also get some animations for the falling state and maybe some parachute falling. I don't know if they have some animation for this, but if they have, we will of course use this. So yeah, if you have the arrow ready, let's get back here again. We need a new custom event, which gives us the parachute to all clients into the server. So this will be spawn parachute, and it will be multicast. Don't forget to actually spawn it here from our press event. So from this one here, from this chain. And what this does is, yeah, very simple. It spawns our actor. So a spawn actor from class is the function, and we want to make a transform, and we want to try to adjust location but always spawn. Or we can just always spawn ignore collision would be better, because this one don't need collision. Yeah, before we can choose here the actor, we need to actually right click on the parachute mesh and create a blueprint using this. And put it in here, parachute PP or something like this. And as we are here, click on the static mesh, go to the collision preset and make no collision, so it will not collide with anything. Later on we can make that when we collide with a building or something like this, that the parachute breaks apart and then you will get damage or something like this. So for now, we will just put in the parachute and take here parachute blueprint. And for the location, of course, we have here our parachute arrow, which will be, well, from which we will get not the actual location, but the location, like this. And for the scale, just type in 0, so we have a small animation like he will open for us. So also create here the variable, which will be the parachute ref. And after this, we want to attach the actor to a component. So we actually attach this one to our parachute arrow. And we want to have the parachute rotated like our body, so we want to keep the world rotation, or scale, rotation, and location for all of this. And after this, we can also bring in a small timeline, which will be scale parachute, and we want to have here 2 floats of a length of maximum of 2 seconds. So here we have an 0, 0, and also a 2, 2, I guess. No, sorry, my fault. Value 1 and 2. So after 2 seconds, it's at 1. So this will be our Z track. And this one will be the other tracks, and this one will start at something like 0.7, and it will start at 0.5. So we have some small animation of opening. So just let me add here the value of 2 at, I think, at 2 seconds. Yeah, but the value of 1. So like this. Value is always 1 because this is our maximum scale, and 2 are the seconds. So here from the update, we will just take our parachute ref, which we created here, and we want to set the actor scale 3D. And we update this, and we split the structure, and the Z will be the Z track, and the other will be the others. Very simple. So scroll in again to the event on landed, and here we want to have our last custom event. So get here the event destroy on all, because if we don't do this, we will only destroy this on the client. So call this event, of course, here, and also make this execute on all, so multicast. And what this does is, yeah, very simple, just destroys the actor, like this. Okay, one thing, here collision handling from the spawn parachute, make this to try to adjust, but always spawn. And as we hear, I also forgot to connect here the parachute reference to the target, which should be connected to. So yeah, this should be everything, and we can test this on single here. So if I press F now, it opens this parachute, and we're not that fast anymore, and we have some air control. That's okay. Before we actually can test this outside of the editor, make sure you save everything up so everything is available for the launch game. After you saved, we can launch here our tutorial project, and of course test this things out here. But it should work properly because I tested this so many times. So start, find. So there we are. Yeah, let's wait this countdown here. And here we are. We have almost 0 air control. So this is okay. Now I open the parachute. And we can see his parachute and our parachute. We're gliding now and we have more air control. So yeah, that's okay, I guess. So let's see what's happened when we land. So it disappears. And it should be same for him. Yeah, and let's look here. Yeah, it's for both. So yeah, that's everything for this tutorial. Thanks for watching and yeah, have a nice day. Bye.